Hi there. I'm a few minutes late. I apologize. I had a wonderful day. Um, I have adopted family that's so precious to me, and today was a day with them. They're about to go overseas. They're from Nepal. They're about to go overseas for a couple months, and we just had a fabulous day. So I got home and I was sort of getting myself grounded, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm late." So thank you for understanding and welcome. Hi, Julie. Uh, okay, good. So Julie's here. I'm so glad, and a few others. So welcome. I want to talk about um, I'm trying to think of how best to phrase it. Here I am. I'm here. I am. Thanks, Julie. I want to talk about our paper because it's a paper that we've worked on for 3 years. It's a case definition of lipedema. So we work with an epidemiologist who is quite brilliant. And several years ago, she had suggested that we work on this case definition because it's what's needed in the research. I have to say, it wasn't an easy sell because I was way more committed to doing the project that I love the most. Hi, Paige. Hi, Cheryl. Good to see you. Um, And at the time, my heart project, you know how we say heart to heart? My heart to heart project is something called Voices of Lipedema, where we take um, recordings from our different offerings. We always get permission. Hi, Wilma from Shetland. We always get permission to anonymously take the data and use it for different purposes. And this purpose is an analysis of what's it like to live with lipedema? What are the things that not only we need to know, but our clinicians need to know? Hi, it's Linda. I think it's Linda. It says Stanley, but I think it's Linda Mendenhall. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Donna. So I'm such I always tell you guys, it's a long process for me because I love the story of it all. So, because there's this intricacy, there's this absolutely deliciousness of being in relationship and being in community. And, there's the community at the level of all of us. And then there's another community in terms of those of us who are coming in as professionals as well as patients and working towards raising awareness, advocacy, um, being able to articulate what it is that's needed in terms of research, in terms of really helping move lipedema forward as an entity and have more doctors trained, all of that. So there's a sort of community within the community, which is often the case. We have subgroups that work in the wisdom circles that are phenomenal. Oh my God, they're brilliant, totally brilliant. So, this is a long intro into that Dr. Carmody, Dr. Matt Carmody, who is our medical advisor, and I've worked with him for over 35 years. Love him, just love him. And he's come in and done numerous fireside chats and helped so many patients that I've referred him to while he was still in practice. He's retired now. But that retirement came at just the right time because he's been involved with us in the research and the writing and the presenting. Now it's taken me 5 minutes to get here. Dr. Carmody was at this very big international conference in Genoa, Italy this past week. And he presented our paper. And it went really well. Yay, yay, yay. So he presented the paper at the International Society of Lymphology Conference in Genoa, Italy, and is going to also be presenting at the Lipedema World Congress in Berlin, Germany, the first week in October. This is exciting. And this is yay, yay, yay. Wait, I need some hearts from myself and from all of us who work so hard on it. Less than, can you see that's a heart? Is that a heart? Well, it's as close to a heart as I'm going to get. So Leslin, myself, Siobhan Huggins, Dr. Carmody, Monica Wahi, who is the epidemiologist that we work with. She's from the Boston area. And more to come, Dr. Isabel Forno Cordero, who is from Spain, Gabrielle Faber, who's from Germany, Dr. Sandro Michelini, who's from Italy, Dr. Stefan Rapprich, who's from Germany, and Dr. Stanley Roxon, who's from Stanford Medical Center. So there were 10 authors all together. And to say that I'm excited is an understatement. Let me tell you why. I was explaining this to one of my coaches who doesn't know much about lymphology, and he was like, "Oh, doesn't mean anything to me. What are you talking about?" And so finally, God bless Lisa, I was on a coaching call with Lisa. Lisa said, it's going to make a difference in the way that women get diagnosed and treated. That's what this paper is about. It's a case definition that lays the groundwork for continued research so that we can begin to name causality, relational impact, and get diagnosed and treated. That's the big news. Hi Eileen from Puerto Rico, and oh, thanks everyone for the hearts and the love and the just so helpful. So I want you all to know that we are going to be presenting not we. Dr. Stanley Roxon is coming to present the paper, the information in the paper. It's not published yet, so we can't make it available. It's in the process of being submitted to a journal, an academic scientific journal, which is where it needs to be in order to have the impact we wanted to have on the whole science of lipedema. And it's a journal called Lymphatic Research and Biology. That's it. Lymphatic Research and Biology. And so I just have to share it all. Here's the bottom line. Big story, long story, took me almost 10 minutes. The bottom line is we worked really hard on this for 3 years. It's in the process of being submitted. It still has to go through some of the hoops. It's not easy to get stuff published in journals. It's a process. So we're in the process. I think it will be published I would say in the next 6 months or so. At least I hope. It can take shorter, it can take longer. We'll see how long it takes. And I just express such gratitude for the whole process and the fact that we've come as far as we've come. Dr. Carmody said everything went so smoothly in Italy. We, Leslin, Dr. Carmody, and myself, we worked on his presentation. You know, he wrote it, we went through it, we gave him feedback, we helped him put a slide presentation together. And now the next place that it's going is to Germany. And then, as I was saying, let me see if I can get the link. The this should give me the link. Our event, our heart to heart event, is coming up. Two things I want to say. We have our heart to heart event coming up. Here it is. learn.lipedema-simplified.org/lymphedema-event. That'll get you to the page. We have 27 speakers. I'm like, I keep saying we need to cut back, but we have so many amazing speakers coming, some doing short things and some much longer. Dr. Stanley Roxon is going to be presenting our case definition paper. So let me give you the dates. I gave you the link without more information. Here it is. Heart to Heart event is October 27, 28, 29. It happens to still be on early bird special, mostly because I can't seem to give the word to take it down. I keep saying, no, leave it up a little while longer, because we were supposed to take it down last week, and then the price goes up to $147. And I'm like, oh no, let's keep it at $97, at least for now. So if you haven't registered already, be sure to register it, because the regular price is $297. But I keep trying to support everyone because it's so amazing. So the other thing I want people to know is that we have a free webinar coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday. Yes, tomorrow, the 18th. And that free webinar, we're doing specialty webinars right now. And the reason is that, well, number one, we're sending out an announcement this week. I've been letting people know, but Lisa Dore is coming in as managing director. She's going to help run everything. She's amazing. She's such a wonderful businesswoman. In addition, she does have lipedema, so she's struggled with the same struggles that many of us have. Excuse me. And I just adore her. She comes up with the best ideas. And she's a mom. I'm 74, so we have a lot of stuff about perimenopause and menopause, because that's my lens. Her lens is having been through IVF and having had significant hormonal disturbances, and then going into perimenopause and literally blowing up overnight, which is very common with lipedema. Mine happened when I hit perimenopause. So tomorrow there's going to be a webinar with Lisa and Sean Bigby. Sean is the lipedema mama. So Lisa is in her 50s and has an 11-year-old daughter, and has her particular story of going through her journey with pregnancy and birthing and the aftermath of that, which can be quite significant. And Sean, who has 4 kids and just turned 40. So I sort of look at her in her 30s. She said she just turned 40. And so these are demographics is what it's called, is like segments of those with lipedema that we'd like to be able to reach and say, hey, you, come, there's help, there's hope. You're not crazy. You didn't just blow up overnight for no reason. It's not you. There's something going on, and that's what we're doing. So that free webinar is tomorrow night, and if you go to lipedema-simplified.org or lipedemaproject.org, the websites, on the homepage, there's a link to the free webinar, or there's the link right there, right under there, right there's the link. So I feel that I'm kind of, I don't know, curious. I love curiosity. I love when I can say I'm curious. Oh, Tina says she's had that. Hi, Julie. So good to see you. Let's see. Yep. Someone, Linda said that she gained 100 pounds with menopause. Oh my God, I put on so much weight with perimenopause. Perimenopause was it for me. Oh, thank you. Linda says that I'm so on fire today. I'm going to put that up there because I really like it. I feel like that's true. This thing about curiosity and wondering what more is possible. I did promise that I was going to share my presentation that I put together for, let me see how much time I've already gone. It's going to be long. I was going to share my presentation that I put together for the conference in Italy. So I'm going to do that. It's, hold on a minute. I'm getting it right now as we speak. So I had promised last week that I would share it. It was my presentation was recorded because I did not go to Italy. Dr. Carmody did. And what I did was make a recording and then send it. Oh, and thank you, Dr. Michelini, and thank you to the organizers who invited me to speak. I'm really delighted to be here, even though it's virtually. I wish I could have been in Genoa, but I'm here to talk about, to give an update and talk a bit about our project, about The Wisdom is in the Community. So I have no disclosures. And the underlying question that I'm here to talk about is what's possible with a doctor-patient collaboration partnership. Dr. Carmody was my primary care physician for over 30 years, and together we walked the journey of trying to figure out what was going on with me and what to do about it. So it was with him that we found lipedema and began to define it and began to figure out what would work. And I'm quite a bit younger and a bit thinner. And the answer that we found is simple, that a collaboration includes the world and the community is the world. And earlier this year, Dr. Carmody gave a talk, but I asked him to give this talk because this is what he said all the time. The wisdom is in the patient. You have the wisdom. You know your body. And so his approach was partnering with his patients, and he saw many lipedema ladies came to Boston to consult with him before he retired. When he retired, he started to work with us much more as a researcher as well as a doctor. We gave a talk in October of last year, and it was an invitation. We were talking then about emergent strategies and the holistic approach that we offer, which is taking into consideration the whole woman, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and social aspects, since they're all important. And we gave the community an invitation. We invited them into something we call the Wisdom Circles Project. It's a 14-month project. It's due to complete this December. We've been working it since last year. October was the invitation, November was the kickoff, where we explored together within subgroups. The wisdom is within each one of us. And we used systems thinking principles, which say that there's something called collective intelligence, that small interactions begin to reflect something that the whole system can then represent. We did start out saying it was an application process. We let that go, and we invited people to come, and it was a process of self-selection. And we built a lot of our conversations with the work of Dr. Joanna Dudek from Poland, her work on quality of life as to what impacts our quality of life and what are some possible transformational structures, psychological flexibility, social connection, self-compassion. And we applied that in the context of our holistic approach. It was amazing. So 2 quick definitions. Emergence refers to collective behaviors, but simple interactions that can then be replicated. And they're usually parts of a system where people do it together rather than alone. And scale refers to the patterns that occur in these small scales and how they emerge to create larger and larger patterns into what we would call self-organizing systems. Let me give you an example. I love starlings. Starlings are amazing birds for more than one reason. So a complex system at scale. So you have one starling, and then you have 2. You have a relationship. You have a mama and a baby, and they have a relationship, but they have that relationship within a community. For us, it's within a family, within a community, and that's part of a much larger tribe, if you will. And what's interesting about the starlings in terms of self-organizing systems is their migration process is one of this kind of inner drive, because they form into these amazing, what they call murmurations. And a murmuration is a time when the starlings, almost an unspoken signal, will rise up. There's a sweeping motion, a whoosh of wings, and they begin to migrate, and they form these amazing, what they call starlings sky dances. And there's a whoosh, and there's protection for them. There's safety in numbers, and I'll bet it's fun. And it's a self-organizing system. It's the emergence of pattern and order in a system by internal processes rather than external constraints or forces. And I would make a hypothesis that lipedema ladies are much like starlings. We came together very spontaneously across the world to ask some very important questions. And our group, what I'm about to share with you, is a smaller segment, I believe, of something that's been going on worldwide. We started with a whiteboard with digital Post-it notes, and we called it Wisdom Circles and asked a couple of very important questions. What's your experience of lipedema? What do you know from your own experience? What's missing? What could have been better? And we started to build a body of knowledge about lipedema that came directly from the Post-it notes from the community. And then we organized it. We had to have an organizing principle. That organizing principle was based in our holistic approach. And we came up with lists of categories and what it takes to navigate our condition: education, personal responsibility, hope, self-awareness, self-advocacy, medical support, emotional support, community support. And what we did with that is create a map. And that map is color-coded and in segments so that subgroups could choose an area to work on of personal interest, as well as larger than personal interest. And that's what happened. Everyone started to meet. We met on a regular basis, and subgroups formed, and those subgroups began to have conversations and experiment on themselves with what they knew. And so this is our current subgroup: Julie and Blanche and Deborah and Jerry and Judy, and I'll show you what they produced. They looked at the emotional well-being. There's so much emotional backlash. And that's what they captured. They captured that it feels like trying to kick down a closed and locked door to try and get a diagnosis, sometimes to even get seen or get any support. And what they wanted was it to feel like this: welcome, we embrace you, we have respect for you, we're family and we welcome you. And so what they did is they created both a digital and a real world version of what they call Emmy's Box of Hope. Emmy is our mascot. She's a flying pig because there's a phrase that says pigs can't fly, which means it's impossible, except it's not impossible, because we as a community have again and again and again and again proven that managing lipedema is possible, that living a full and rich quality of life is your right and within your reach. And there are things that you can do and we can help you. A note that goes in the digital box and the real box, which is in process: we want to offer you a box of hope, kindness, and support. Please use these items to help you move forward and eventually reach your goals. We also pair up an advocate and a mentor so that the person has support, and that the whole purpose is to help and be helped. And here's my contact info. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to have your comments, your questions, your conversation. And in closing, I'm going to say that the metaphor of the starlings is very much what we've had as a lipedema community, going back 10, 12 years, even longer back. We've had a global community that has worked with each other. Esther from Spain, and Fiona from New Zealand, and Ingmarie from Sweden, and Dr. Joanna Dudek from Poland, and Michelle Ellis from the UK, and Nola Young from Australia, and Patty Cornute from the US, and Sarah from the US, and Suzanne Evans from the UK, who partnered with Sherry Fetzer. And together they started, and Sherry continued, Lipedema UK. And Tilly from the Netherlands, and Valeria from Italy, and our community that continues to ask the questions, do the research, come up with answers, and try and offer to others a holistic approach in dealing with and living with this disease. Thank you. I so appreciate being here. Many blessings. Okay. So that was the presentation that I sent to Italy. And it was presented on Friday, which is today's Sunday, 2 days ago. And it took me a week, a week to record 10 minutes. It's so funny. There's this um, there's this quote that I hear again and again in my coaching sessions. They say, if I had more time, I could write you a shorter letter. Oh my God. The first time I recorded it with all of what I wanted to put in, it was 27 minutes. And it had to be 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God. So I had to keep cutting it back and cutting it back just to the essence. Um, so, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you. Um, we rock. That's what I have to say. We just rock as a community, as a group of kick ass women, really badass. That's what there's a book that we had for our book club. You are a badass or something like that. But really, that we hang in there and that there are so many. I don't know about you, but if you go on some of the Facebook groups, which I don't do anymore because people fight and uh, there's a quality of, I don't know what to call it, that I began to recognize, which is one of the reasons we have a community that is respectful, mutually encouraging, supportive, kind, loving, and quite frankly, we believe in miracles here. At Lipedema Simplified and Lipedema Project, we believe in miracles. And the reason why is because we've had them, we've seen them, and we continue to see it unfold. So, thank you so much for being here. I'm way over today, but I promised and I wanted to share the presentation with you. I'm going to do a variation of that at the conference in October, Dr. Carmody and I. And Dr. Roxon will be our keynote speaker, presenting our case definition paper, which is wonderful, wonderful. And we have um, 25 other people who are doing, from small contributions to much larger contributions during the 3-day event. So much, much love. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for all that we do and love you. And I will see you here next week or hopefully tomorrow. I'll be facilitating the parenting free webinar tomorrow night at 6. Make sure you sign up on our page, either Lipedema Project or lipedema-simplified.org. And yeah, see you soon.